Hello and welcome back to this course on post-colonial literature. Now, if you remember, in our previous meeting, we had tried to acquaint ourselves briefly with the colonial and pre-colonial African context. And I had suggested in that lecture that this acquaintance will help us get a new perspective from which we will be able to produce a contrapuntal reading of Conrad's Heart of Darkness. Now, the most important thing that we need to remember from our previous discussion of the African context is that unlike what the contemporary colonial discourse kept repeating, Africa and Africans were not a race of barbarians who were waiting to be redeemed by the civilized Europeans who colonized their land, right? That was far from the case. In fact, not only did the Africans have a long and rich cultural traditions in fact, various cultural traditions are to be found in Africa today. Not only did they have these cultural traditions, they were also thriving economically, socially, politically. They were experimenting with constitutional forms of political governance, and this was going on till the 1880s when the European moved in and claimed the entire continent for themselves as their colonies, and by doing so reversed much of the gains that the African societies had achieved in almost every field since the abolition of the slave trade in the early 19th century. Now, if we read Conrad's Heart of Darkness, we will see that though in the text the narrator Marlowe relates his story from a position that is apparently sympathetic to the colonized Africans, he never takes into account the fact that Africans too, like the Europeans who conquered them, are civilized and mature human beings. What Marlowe does is therefore merely sympathize with what he thought to be the plight of poor native savages, but he never seemed to question the problematic European colonizers' assumption that Africans were uncivilized brutes. In other words, though Marlowe criticizes the oppressive practices that characterized European colonialism in Africa, or in Congo more specifically, he is never really able to sort of look at the Africans that he encountered in his journey across Congo to meet Coates. He never seems to realize that they are, the Africans that he encounters, they are his fellow human beings, and therefore they deserve the same dignity that any white man, any white skinned man would normally command. And this line of argument that I have just stated is perhaps most forcefully put forward in the celebrated essay titled Image of Africa, written by the Nigerian novelist Chinua Achebe. And in today's lecture, we will discuss Achebe's criticism of Conrad's novel in his essay Image of Africa, before we move on to discuss his seminal novel titled Things Fall Apart. And I think that this transition from the essay to the novel would be a smooth one, because Achebe's criticism of how Conrad portrays Africa and Africans in his Heart of Darkness will provide us with some very important clues about how to read Achebe's own novel, Things Fall Apart, and its depiction of African society and African people. Now, coming to the essay Image of Africa, the fundamental argument that Achebe makes in that essay is that the way the image of Africa was constructed by the colonizing Europeans was guided by an important psychological need in them. Achebe argues that by portraying Africa and Africans as savage, uncivilized, brutish, barbaric, what the colonizing Europeans were actually doing was they were creating a foil for themselves, so that by contrast they could themselves appear in a positive light. And if the Africans were savages and barbarians, then by contrast the Europeans started looking like, very convincingly, the upholders and carriers of the light of civilization. So, an image of Africa was constructed through the colonial discourse that was entirely negative, and this, according to Achebe, helped create an all positive image of Europe and Europeans. And if you remember, when we discussed Edward Said, we saw that this same negative positive binary was also equally part of the Orientalist discourse. Now, what Achebe alleges in his essay, Image of Africa, is that Conrad too, like most European writers writing about the parts of the world that was colonized by them, thought from within this negative positive binary. In other words, Conrad's criticism of the colonial discourse was at best a partial criticism. Why? Because Achebe argues that in spite of his criticism, Conrad shared the most fundamental idea which informed the colonial discourse on Africa. And what was that fundamental idea? The idea was, of course, that Africans were lesser human beings than Europeans. So, in spite of Conrad's criticism, Achebe argues, Conrad still could not jettison this notion that Africans are lesser human beings. And Achebe brings out this bias working within the novel Heart of Darkness by drawing our attention to a particular section in the novel in which Marlowe, during his journey down the Congo River, looks out from his boat and sees African village life unfolding in the banks of the river. And this is how Marlowe chooses to describe what he sees. Suddenly, as we struggled round a bend, there would be a glimpse of rush walls, of peaked grass roofs, a burst of yells, a whirl of black limbs, a mass of hands clapping, of feet stamping, of bodies swaying, of eyes rolling under the droop of heavy and motionless foliage. The steamer toiled along slowly on the edge of a black and incomprehensible frenzy. The prehistoric man was cursing us, praying to us, welcoming us. Who could tell? We glided past like phantoms, wondering and secretly appalled as sane men would be before an enthusiastic outbreak in a madhouse. Now, please note here that Marlowe categorizes the Africans that he sees from his boat as prehistoric men. And what this means is that Marlowe, as a European, considers himself to be the representative of the modern civilized man. And it is from that apparent vantage point of superiority that Marlowe classifies the Africans that he sees as prehistoric, who are yet to evolve into modern human beings. In fact, the description here doesn't even depict Africans as complete human beings. Rather, they are depicted as physical fragments, as black limbs, stamping feet, rolling eyes, and so on. And we never get to see an African man or a woman in his or her completeness, as if an entire and complete human identity is impossible in an African. And this brings us back to the positive, negative, mature, immature, civilized, barbaric binaries which form the mainstay of the colonial discourse. And this binary mode of thinking that the novel inherits from the colonial discourse is also apparent in the way Marlowe portrays normal, everyday African village life. And he does that, as we have seen in this quotation, he does that as something which is characterized by the incomprehensible frenzy of a madhouse. It is a mad frenzy which provides a contrast for the sanity that Marlowe as a European man supposedly represents. Now, one controversial aspect of Achebe's criticism of Heart of Darkness in his essay Image of Africa is that he ascribes the colonial bias not merely to Marlowe and his narration of Africa, but to Conrad himself. In fact, Achebe argues that it is Conrad's inherent racism that doesn't allow him to see and portray Africans as his fellow human beings, even while he is arguing against the brutalities of colonialism. Now, this argument has a problem, and the problem with this argument is that it is conflating Marlowe and Conrad together. So, what it is doing is that it is trying to ascribe the ideological peculiarities of a fictional character, that is Marlowe, onto the author Conrad himself. And here a counter argument is possible, and that counter argument is that you yourself do not need to be a racist in order to portray, in order to create a character who shares a racist ideology. In other words, Conrad himself need not have been a racist in order to create a character like Marlowe who has a racist worldview. And you'll remember that it is only Marlowe that we hear, apart from another frame narrator who introduces Marlowe on board of the ship Nelly. And it is only Marlowe's voice, apart from that narrator, first narrator whom we meet very briefly in the novel. It is only Marlowe's voice that we hear, and it is Marlowe's voice that describes Africa. And Conrad is very careful not to introduce his authorial voice into this narrative. But having said this, I would also say that Achebe does try to make a very convincing case regarding Conrad's racism in his essay, and I will leave it up to you to read the essay and decide on this issue. So, I leave it as an open-ended question. Now, moving on with the essay, there is one more very interesting argument that Achebe makes in his essay Image of Africa, and I will end this discussion on the essay by referring to it. So, while revealing the deformed image of Africa and Africans that is presented in Heart of Darkness, Achebe places against it a radically opposed image, the image of a civilized Africa. So, on the one hand, he brings out how Africa is presented in Conrad's novel as an uncivilized space, as a space inhabited by savages and barbarians, and he then goes on to create another image of Africa, which is that of a civilized Africa. And how does he do this? Well, he does this, Achebe does this by talking about how during the first decade of the 20th century, which means barely a few years after the publication of Heart of Darkness, the European art world was revolutionized by the advent of what is known as the Cubist movement. And Cubism, as Achebe shows, in turn was deeply inspired by African art, especially the art of the Fang people. And the masks, and here in the slide you can see an example of the mask created by Fang people. The masks made by these Africans provided a new artistic idiom to such celebrated Western artists like Pablo Picasso, for instance, or Henri Matisse. And ironically, these Fang people who inspired the most avant-garde art movement of modern Europe were residents of the very Congo region, whose people are described in the novel Heart of Darkness as brutish inhabitants of a madhouse. And Achebe stresses on this irony. He also points out that therefore there is this other image of Africa that is possible, an image of Africa that is civilized, and not only civilized but civilized enough to deeply influence the culture of the modern Western world. And Achebe's basic argument therefore is that this image of a civilized Africa is completely missing in Conrad's novel Heart of Darkness. Indeed, as Achebe argues, this image of a civilized Africa is found missing in not only merely this one novel, it is found missing in all the discourses about Africa that has originated in the West. And Chinua Achebe's 1958 novel, Things Fall Apart, was one of the first attempts to break this stereotypical image of a sinister and barbaric Africa, at least within the English-speaking world. And it is to this novel that I will now turn. But before we start exploring Things Fall Apart, let me properly introduce to you its author, Chinua Achebe. We have been talking about Achebe, and here is his image. Achebe's dates are from 1930 to 2013, and he was born in Nigeria in a tribe called the Igbo tribe, and his father was a teacher at a Christian missionary school. Achebe was himself a product of this very same school, and this is an important fact to remember. Why? Because the particular kind of education to which Achebe was exposed to as a child in a missionary school gave him access to the classics of British literature. And later on, when he would write his novels about the African people, and though he was writing about Africa and Africans, his novels would be shot through, would be pervaded with references to British texts and Western classics in general. And this is evident even in Things Fall Apart. If you just notice the title, Things Fall Apart, the title refers to a poem, a very famous poem titled The Second Coming, written by William Butler Yeats. And Things Fall Apart is a reference to a particular line in the poem, and we'll have to return back to this reference later on. But now I would just like to point out that Things Fall Apart was published in 1958, a very influential novel, and it was published by a London-based firm called Heinemann. And this is again important because Heinemann would later on go on to publish a very influential series called the African Writers series, in which they would publish and therefore sort of circulate within the English-speaking world a number of post-independent African writers. And Chinua Achebe acted as the first advisory editor of this African writers series. And incidentally, Things Fall Apart was also the first book to be published in that African writers series. So, apart from his first novel, Achebe is also known for these other works of fiction. So, Things Fall Apart was published in 1958, then there was No Longer at Ease, which was published in 1960, Arrow of God 1964, A Man of the People published in 1966, and Anthills of the Savannah, which was published in 1987. Now, let us turn to the novel Things Fall Apart and see how it approaches the project of writing the colonial history of Africa from an African perspective, and how it presents an image of a civilized Africa in contrast with the image of an uncivilized Africa that we have already encountered in the British novel Heart of Darkness. Now, a good way to understand this project would be to go back to the scene in Conrad's Heart of Darkness, where Marlowe describes from his boat the frenzied activities of the Africans in the bank. And he, of course, thinks of it as a madhouse that is incomprehensible to a sane man like him, a sane European like him. Now, because Marlowe is narrating this scene, we immediately situate ourselves on the boat along his side, and we start looking at the scene from his perspective, which is European. But what if we switch our position? What if we look at it from an African perspective? That is to say, from the bank of the river itself, where the frenzied activities are going on. Will it give us a different insight into the colonial encounter altogether? Now, Achebe's novel helps us do just that, helps us switch our position vis-a-vis Heart of Darkness, because it takes us directly inside an African village. Though this village in Achebe's novel, titled, or rather known as Umuofia, is located in Nigeria and not in Congo. And here you can see the shaded area represents the modern day country of Nigeria. Now, the first thing that we feel when we look from inside the African village is that even the most frenzied activities of the villagers neither look like savagery, nor does it look like incoherent madness. And the reason for this is that unlike Marlowe, who looks at a similar scene of the African village as an outsider, we are presented in Achebe's novel with a wholly coherent African worldview. And we see therefore the village activities as an insider. Thus, for the first 5 chapters or so, for instance, of Achebe's novel Things Fall Apart, he painstakingly details the various rituals and actions that hold a pre-colonial Igbo village society together. We come to know from these chapters the hierarchical structure of the Igbo village. Umuofia is an Igbo village. We come to know of its hierarchical structure. We come to know the importance that this society attaches to physical prowess of men, and how that prowess is tested through regular wrestling matches between the people of the community. We also come to know of the importance of the yam crop, whose harvesting cycle plays an essential role in organizing the annual life of the villages. Thus, after these 5 chapters, when chapter 6 opens with a scene where 3 drummers are seen working feverishly on their drums and a huge gathering of people roaring and clapping, it no longer appears to us as the mass of clapping hands and stamping feet of savages that Marlowe claims to have witnessed from his boat. Because Achebe's novel places this frenzy of the drummers and of the crowd in a context, and by the time we reach this scene, we know that these are all part of the festivities that are associated with the harvesting of the yam, and the crowds are roaring and clapping not as mad people, but rather they are cheering the wrestlers who are about to participate in the annual wrestling match, which again is associated with the yam harvest. Now, it is this insider's view which Achebe's novel provides that helps us really to break free from the bias and the prejudice of the colonial discourse about Africa and align ourselves with the African perspective. In the following lecture, we will explore Things Fall Apart in further details. We will look into this African perspective that the novel helps us align with. We will also talk about characters and plot structures of the novel and see how the colonial encounter looks when it is viewed from the African perspective that is presented in the novel. Thank you.